Yo, 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 what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Daily Fitness Live Stream Show. Let's go. All right, today is, where's my stuff at? Friday. Yes, sir. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. And hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're ready for this weekend. Hopefully nothing been going too bad for you. But if you've been having a bad day, man, let Mr. Chow break it down to ya.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
As long as you didn't lose your life and you are still here, you ain't dead yet, then hey, you are still able to get up, get out, get something, make something happen with your life, and figure it out, make the best of your abilities of what you can do. Yes, sir. Let's go. And also, just to let you know, it's the weekend. So out here in Texas, we're supposed to be having some bad weather coming up this weekend. So hopefully it ain't too bad like we had a few years ago when it was snowing and we wasn't prepared. So we're going to see how things turn out. Went to the grocery store today and it was looking pretty sad. At least the HEB that I went to, the grocery store, it was like no chicken in there whatsoever. I thought they sold out, but one of the guys said that the package, the delivery person didn't make it out there, but you know, go figure, they didn't make it today out of all days. But with that being said, if you want to contribute to today's show, there's the Cash App and the Venmo. Cash App Daniel 2888, Venmo Danny-Daniel-00, and we are simultaneously streaming on 4 platforms. We're on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button when you see the thumbs up pop up on your screen right there. And we're also on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Yes, sir. Get your boy a follow. It's greatly appreciated over there. And we got a good show lined up for you today. So like I said, we do have a alleged ice snowstorm, snow ice storm, or whatever that we got coming up this weekend. Hopefully it's not too bad out here in Texas, but we're going to see how bad it turns out. I'm hoping it is not going to be too bad. They say we got to be ready for Saturday and Sunday, so we'll see how things playing out. Hopefully it's not too bad. But if it is, and if it doesn't turn out to be that bad, where's my thing? Where's my thing at? Where is it? I can't find my other soundbite. I don't know where it went. There it is right there. Hopefully it's not too bad. But, you know, if it gets too bad or whatever the case may be, then we'll just have to thug it out. You know what I mean? Do what we got to do. And if there's nothing to it, they got us scared this whole time. Well, then to the news people.
That's right, Cindy. I'm gay.
Yes, news people, you sure are. But we're going to see how this thing all pans out. We're going to see how it pans out. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in today's show, because today's show is about the Great American Staged Crisis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to see how this is looking, because it's looking how everything is ran, man. I don't think all this stuff that's going on is coincidence. I mean, we've been told how this world is going to be ran for a long time. Every time you look up conspiracy theories, if you go back through the history books of conspiracy theories, they all turn out to be true. Just about 95% of them turn out to be true. And probably the 5% that ain't true are the ones that ain't happened yet. So looking at how things are being ran, man, we got to go down and look at the situations that keep unraveling, things that keep happening. We got to look at the left side. We got to look at the right side. And most importantly, we got to look up these liberal white women, bro. These liberal white women would just be out of control. But I mean, I don't think that they're too out of control. But I do think that with liberal white women, one thing I do got to say about them is, what is this? One thing I do have to say about them is they may be liberal, they may be white, but I think left side or right side, to be quite honest with you, I think they're both on the same code. I really do. I think they're both on the same code, playing the same game on both sides, just playing people in the middle for some fools.
He's right, you know.
I'm just saying. That's what I think. That's why I call this thing a big stage play, a big old show. That's all it is. Kind of like the movie The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves. The whole time he thought he was winning his court cases because he was just so damn good. Turns out Al Pacino was the devil, which was his daddy, who his mama had smashed, and knew this nigga was the devil the entire time and knew that was his daddy. Straight up, you know, female shit, but you know, knew that that was his daddy. They was together in the elevator. She still wouldn't tell him. She knew that that was his daddy. Come to find out, he was the devil the entire time, on top of being his daddy. And the whole reason why he was winning at everything was because the devil was watching him the entire time. It was trying to get him up here to get to the point where he can go ahead and smash somebody and birth an antichrist or some craziness like that. But the movie is good as hell. It's one of my favorites. But what I'm saying is, it was a show on both sides. Either way it go, it was a show being set up. Everything that was happening was a show. Everything was being happening was staged to fit a narrative in his head to get him to sway him to think in a certain direction, which is where I believe that we're at.
He's right, you know.
I'm just saying. That's just my whole opinion. When I look at today's world and look at what's going on, and you see everything that's happening, you want to argue with the crazy libtards who don't know what a woman is. You want to argue with the staunch conservatives who believe in marriage and all these good things. It's still a divide and conquer. You want to go with radical Islam, who want to throw Sharia law on everybody and allow Mohammed, the guy who married a 6-year-old girl, or you want to go with the liberal Christians who think you can abort babies and follow and walk in the name of Jesus Christ. Either way it goes, you got these two extreme sides, right? And they both running around here doing, you know, the craziest of the craziest, changing the paradigm and how people think and how people see things, and raising up a new generation of kids, and you know, changing the definition of what marriage is. They're changing it from marriage to partnership. And I mean, and there ain't nowhere in the damn Bible you hear anything talk about a partnership. It's a spouse, it's a marriage, it's a covenant. But somehow, you know, women got in charge, so now the shit's a partnership. So that's where we're at right now.
He's right, you know.
I know I am. So, but if you look at it, it's a stage play. It's a show. I believe it's one big ass show. These people are putting on the greatest show of all time. The only problem is that they will kill your ass a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't play. Like, even though it's a show, they will still put their foot knee deep in your ass, and they will sacrifice your ass. They ain't playing around. They will get rid of you in a heartbeat. So don't get it twisted. Don't think like, well, how can it be a show if, you know, people are dying? Well, I didn't say you couldn't die. I'm just saying. Like, they will get rid of your ass a part of the show. You know what I mean? The show can get real. It can get grimy. So I want to look at and show you a bunch of different situations that's going on, that's been happening. And I want you to just kind of look at it and see and understand that it don't matter what side you on. Left, right, up, down, male, female, trans, queer. It don't matter. It's all part of the same show. And who running the show, who pulling the strings? Rich, poor, black, white, orange, green, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these Christmas trees. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. It's part of the same show. From all the way from Somalia to America, it's all a part of the same damn show. It doesn't matter. So I want to put that out in the open, and I want to show today as to why I feel that this is a show, and why I believe that what we're seeing here is nothing but a distraction to keep your ass from looking at the man or woman in the mirror and focusing. I'll say man in the mirror, not woman. Looking at the man in the mirror, because, you know, it's a man's world. Women just get to do what the hell they want to do in it. You know, women, they go after the winner. So we get to have fun with them at our leisure, as long as you got your shit together. So it is what it is. Hate me all you want. That's what life is showing us. But as long as you can look at the man in the mirror and understand that there's a divineness inside of you, and even your enemy know that. They just don't want you to know that shit. That's why they keep trying to get you to look everywhere else but inside of yourself. And we're going to get into that. And we're going to look at that. And we're going to compare it to certain documents that'll even prove that, you know, what they're doing and what we're seeing is just a part of one big ass show, regardless of how you want to look at it. So we're going to get right into today's show, because I got only so much time to present my case to you. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this stuff. All right. So we're going to get straight to it, because yes, what else is there to do but to do it? All right, let's go. So let's go ahead and let our sexy lady lead us into the economy portion of the show, because it practically is the economy we're going into. So let's bring her fine ass up in here. Come here.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Let me turn it up. I gotta be careful with the sound, because this sound is kind of weird. Some things are loud, some things are quiet, so I gotta be careful the way I do it. Where's my... Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I can't find my... Where is it? Bam! There it is. So we're gonna call this the economy segment of the show, because this stuff affects the economy. It affects everything. Doesn't matter what we're doing. Doesn't matter what president's in office. Doesn't matter if it's a Demo or a Republican. It don't matter who's in office. I think we've been going so hard one way that now we have to use the Republicans as a means to make it seem like we're combating. And you have to think of it like that. We almost had a sugar baby as a president. Kamala Harris, if you didn't know, she used to be a sugar baby. They went down the line. You can actually find this and see that Kamala Harris used to be a sugar baby. She sucked her way all to the top. But, people don't want to take that into consideration, because, want to say Bill Clinton got head while he was in the White House. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. He wasn't a sugar baby. At least I don't think he was. But looking at how things were for the past 8 years, Joe was in there and all this stuff. They've been going hard with pushing this narrative of basically going against everything that has to do with nature. Anything that God has in a certain order that has to do with order in life, they go completely against it. 100%. They like 2 genders. They're like, no, fool, there's 3 or 4. They're like, okay, cool. Well, then the order of marriage is God, man, and woman. They're like, no, fool, fuck a marriage. There's partnerships and men and women are equal. It's like, okay, well, women, get pregnant and birth children. They're like, no, men can get pregnant too. I'm like, well, God dang, what the hell is wrong with you demons? I mean, it's crazy, and you can't help but notice it. And then you start arguing, then you start gossiping, then everybody spews out all this negative shit all over social media and all this stuff, and it just brings this cycle, this whirlwind of negativity and gossip and division and anger and rage and hate and just negative thinking. And then on top of that, we got degeneracy going crazy, which I showed you. The CDC said that they can give you medication that will make your your HIV undetectable on a test. So as long as your HIV is undetectable, they say on the CDC website that you cannot transfer it whenever you're having sex. And I'm like, bruh. And I actually posted that on my TikTok, and somebody actually told me that my way of thinking was old way of thinking, that the doctors have ways of taking care of that, so it's no big deal anymore, because this person was in the medical field and knew all about it. I was like, man, hold on. What I wanted to say was, shut up, bitch. You know what I mean? But I was like, look, bro, I'm not finna argue with you on this. If you want to stick your Johnson in something that has HIV in it, be my guest. Leave me out of it. I don't Johnson police what men be doing. Like, you do what you do. You sling your Johnson the way you choose to. If you want to believe that shit, then you go and believe it. That's just my humble opinion. You know what I mean?
He's right,
I know I am. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive into this. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what's been going on. I mean, where to start? I mean, we can go to Minneapolis. I mean, we can go to the politics. We can go to anywhere we can go. We can go to Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley been on a hot streak. But let's just look at the American staged crisis. But now, when I say staged crisis, it doesn't mean that you can't lose your life, okay? It doesn't mean that the stage show is like 100% fake, because although the stage show from what is fake, you could still lose your life. I'm just saying, you could still get whacked out here. So don't get it twisted, okay? Don't get it twisted, all right? So just keep that in mind when I put this out here. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look. And we're going to look at a few random clips as we go along, just to take a look at how the world is looking and what's going on. And ask yourself these things, like, is this stuff real, or is this a planned event? We're gonna look at situations that's going on and ask yourself: is this real or is this planned? Is this like, you know, did they set this up? Did this just happen by like a natural situation, a natural consequence, or was this orchestrated and put together here to lead us to where we are today? All right. Let me go ahead and hit the drum roll, please. Here we go. All right. And we're gonna get started on the first video of the day. It's gonna be by a young. Wait, hold on. Let me go back. I done messed up already. Where's my video? All right, we're gonna start right here. To a young man by the name of Nick Shirley. He's going to check out the drug situation that's going on in America. So let's go ahead and check out this video and see what's happening with people that are on drugs. By the way, don't do drugs. So here we go. Nick Shirley's inside America's most addicted neighborhood, and let's see how it looks. Here we go.
It's causing you to slump like this.
Right now.
Sir, are you okay?
Yeah,
What drug are you taking right now? A trank?
yeah.
And what drugs are taking over the streets here?
Heroin, crack, meth, usually just that stuff.
So does it help when the city gives you guys the free needles, or does it make you guys want to do drugs even more?
If you want to get high, you're going to figure out how to do it whether you get a free needle or not.
I mean, I'm 25, bro. I know people out here 19, 18 that's doing fentanyl.
You're 25 years old. Did you ever expect your life to be like this?
No.
And now, would you say that fentanyl's taken over your life?
Yeah, pretty much. The whole day is revolved around trying to get money to get high. I never felt something that I wanted to stop doing that I couldn't do for the life of me. Like, I don't want to do this shit no more, but I just can't stop.
Don't do it right now then.
But then I'll be sick.
What do you mean you'll be sick if you don't do it?
If I don't do it right, I'll end up being very nauseous. I'll start throwing up. I can't eat. I'm not normal. I'll get the runs. Like, who wants to live like that? You know it takes $5 to make that all go away.
This is not cool. Stay in school, be somebody, be something. Don't be out here doing this. Don't take no painkillers prescribed by the doctor either. Tell them to go to hell.
And what drug is causing you to...
Oh man, okay. Sheesh, that was rough to watch, but hey, there is a learning point in all that for sure. But man, heart goes out to those people who are addicted and are on drugs and all those things. And it was crazy that whenever you looked at it, it was wild because they said some profound stuff in there. It was really some profound things that was being said. So we have to pay attention to what they were saying in there. And I mean, hopefully those people can find help and get help. I mean, they're out in public in the neighborhood, and you know, it's unfortunate, but you have to ask yourself, where do these drugs come from? You know what I mean? These drugs are just peddled all over the street, and you know, you can say it's the drug dealers, but at the end of the day, how does it even get in here if we got borders to secure it? So think about this. We have a drug epidemic going on. This is the most addictive neighborhood in America, which I don't know what neighborhood they're in. I didn't hear it. I don't think anybody said where they were at. But seeing these people addicted on these drugs, hearing some of the stuff they said. One person said, well, that girl, well, hold on, what that one
to
dude
slump
say?
like this?
I want to get to this one dude. Hold on. Here we go. Let's watch it one more time.
Sir, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm cool.
What drug are you taking right now? A trank?
Yeah.
And what drugs are taking over the streets here?
Heroin, crack, meth, usually just that stuff.
So does it help when the...
He said heroin, crack, and meth. Those are the hardest of the hard drugs. You know, they give you synthetic heroin, which, what is that called? What is synthetic heroin called? I forgot if it was a pill that was called, that was synthetic heroin that would get you, you know, that would get you right. And then, you know, crack is a derivative of cocaine. And then meth is just a chemical that you can make from all the stuff that's underneath your sink. But that's neither here nor there.
city gives you guys the free needles, or does it make you guys want to do drugs even?
Yeah, so the city was giving people free needles. Free needles. I guess they was trying to give people free needles so people would stop shooting themselves up with dirty needles, which is causing another epidemic on top of the drug epidemic.
Even more.
If you want to get high, you're going to figure out how to do it whether you get a free needle or not.
I mean, I'm 25, bro. I know people out here 19, 18 that's doing fentanyl.
You're 25 years old. Did you ever expect your life to be like this?
No.
And now, would you say that fentanyl's taken over your life?
Yeah, pretty much. The whole day is revolved around trying to get money to get high. I never felt something that I wanted to stop doing that I couldn't do for the life of me. Like, I don't want to do this shit no more, but I just can't stop.
Don't do it right now then.
But then I'll be sick.
What do you mean you'll be sick if you don't do it?
If I don't do it right, I'll end up being very nauseous. I'll start throwing up. I can't eat. I'm not normal. I'll get the runs. Like, who wants to live like that? You know it takes $5 to make that all go away.
It takes $5 to make that all go away. Let that sink in right there. Bruh. She said it takes $5 to make all that go away. She said, I can't eat, I get sick, I get the runs, she gets nauseous, and all that will go away for a simple $5. Think about that. Now ask yourself, is this staged? Is this set up this way? You know, is this made to be this way, or is this just organically how things panned out? Let's let this one finish up right here.
This is not cool. Stay in school, be somebody, be something. Don't be out here doing this. Don't take no painkillers prescribed by the doctor either. Tell them to go to hell.
Shout out to her for that last bar. She said, don't take no painkillers prescribed by the doctor. Tell them to go to hell. Shout out to her for that statement. That right. And I always say those are legal drug dealers. The doctors are your legal drug dealers. Straight up. That's what they are. But that's neither here nor there. So ask yourself this question. Is that situation with people, you know, being drugged out and everything like that, and the drugs that guy mentioned was heroin, crack, and meth. Is it set up that way in America to be this way, or is it just because bad things are happening and drugs have gotten in and now people can't stop doing them? Like, ask yourself that question. Do you think that we could that America could crack down on drugs and not have so many people addicted on drugs, or do you think that, you know, it's staged? Do you think it's set up to be this way? Yeah, I mean, think. It's really not that hard to figure out. I would say that America could stop all drugs from probably coming into this country, if not most. If not most, especially with severe consequences they could put on the back end for people. I'm pretty sure that they could get this taken care of. But, you know, when you got one side opening borders and you got another side trying to close borders, and there's two, and they're two wings on the same bird, it's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. Why the hell are y'all against each other, but the only people that are getting hurt in the midst of all this is the citizens? The citizens are getting hurt. Why y'all still get paid and get insider trading? Is this set up a certain way? Is this staged? Is this crisis staged? Do you think it's a staged crisis, or do you think it's, you know, it's just organically made this way? Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's check out what this lady has to say. Let me see if I can pull this up.
These people...
All right, here we go. So this one guy here says, these people face no consequence for us. Let's see what the consequences is he's talking about. So here we go. Let's see what this girl has to say, which I'm pretty sure is going to be something stupid, but hey, let's let it go.
Face no consequences for it.
So does anyone have that ICE list that was released with all the names and the birthdays? I don't need it for anything. I'm asking for a friend. We got that?
What's that behind her? That's crazy. Asking for people to dox federal agents. These people face no consequences for it.
So does anyone have that ICE list that was released with all the names and the birthdays? I don't need it for anything. I'm asking for a friend. We got that?
What's that behind her? That's crazy. Asking for people to dox federal agents. These people face no consequences for it.
All right, so if you don't know what they're referring to, she's talking about a list that happened recently. There was a situation that happened, I think it was in Minnesota. I could be wrong, but it was in Minnesota with the ICE situation. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but something happened with ICE where they had to like leave or something. Like maybe somebody got shot or something happened. Well, whatever happened was they left one of their cars behind. The protesters got in their cars, stole some of the federal guns and federal documents, and then somebody went on a live stream and then doxed the federal agents. So now, of course, she's in a world of trouble. She's out of there, I believe. I'm pretty sure they caught up with her ass quick, but she went and got the federal documents and then doxed the federal agents' names, address, you know, like date of birth, all the information, all their personal information. She just went on live and just spewed it all out, and you know, just told all their business. So as you can see clearly, she's on the liberal side. You know what I mean? And as we found out, as I showed you, that the liberal people out here, they're sitting here doing these protests, but they are paid. They are paid to protest. They're paid to do these things, and they're paid to sit here and basically, you know, spew out all this rhetoric about, you know, ICE and all this stuff. But if somebody is paying their side to oppose the other side, is that organic or is that staged? Is that a legit left side fighting the right side to do the best political things for its citizens? Or is that a staged situation to keep a divide and conquer type of situation? What exactly do you think? Do you think, because right now she's talking this, but it brings forth argument, it brings forth criticism, it brings forth negative energy. That's what it brings forth, and that is a low frequency thing, and it keeps people at a low frequency at all times and keeps people fighting and keeps people divided. Think about that. So ask yourself, is this American crisis that's going on now, is this a real crisis or is it staged but with real consequences? All right, let's go to this next one. So here we go. We got this next. Up. Wait, don't have this next one yet. Something screwed up. Let's go back down and find this one. Where is it at? All right, here we go. We got this next one coming up here. This is by JD. Let's check out what he's got going on for us. So here we go. So we see here we got partners with their other partners, as people would say. Let's see what he has to say about these partners. So here we go. Take it away, buddy.
Just want to point out that the most prominent people who are always blaming the problems of this country on white supremacy go home and all of them take white pipe. Except maybe this one, I don't know, I'm a little confused as to what's going on over here, but like, look at these people. Each and every one of them is married to a white person. Ilhan Omar was recently quoted as saying that white men are the most dangerous thing in this country, but she still goes home every night and takes a throat full of one. Don Lemon just recently said on the news that Christianity is rooted in white supremacy, but he still lets this dude plant meat all the way up in his guts. At this point, we're just tired of it, you guys. White people are the least racist people, and yet we're experiencing the most racism these days, and you expect us to just take that up the ass like we're Don Lemon or something? Not gonna happen. There's only one race, and that's the human race, and then there's a bunch of y'all that are making shit weird. Literally nobody cares what your skin color is as long as you're not being an insufferable cunt. And I'm sure somebody's gonna call me racist for this, and I honestly don't give a shit anymore. But what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. Just want to
Well, he's made some great points there. He's pretty savagery with it, which is true, which he does make a true statement. It is true. When these people here that you see talk about white supremacy, which is funny, but they do go back home to a white partner in today's world. I call it spouse, but I guess since these people are clearly anti-God, we have to call it partners, because therefore if you have a partnership, I believe your marriage is rooted in evil. But if you got a spouse, at least you try to do it the right way. That's my opinion. But yeah, like he said, these people say they hate white people and they're white supremacists, but they go home and get piped down by a white guy, I mean, the joke writes itself. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I mean, for him to say that white people are the least racist people on the planet, I'm like, like, nah, bro, you a damn lie. You full of shit for that one. JD, you lying your ass off on that one, bro. I don't know about that one. Y'all might not be the most racist, but y'all the top 3. Y'all are top 3. Hell, top 2, maybe. But let me run that back one more time. Well, let's stop it on some of the stuff he said. So here we go. Let's run it again.
Point out that the most prominent people who are always blaming the problems of this country on white supremacy go home and all of them take white pipe.
That is a valid point. Except I don't know what this thing is. I think this thing right here, whatever this thing right here is, I think it's a thing out of Chicago. I think it's from Illinois. I don't know if it's a man or I think it's an ugly ass woman with another woman. But yeah, whatever the case may be, if you want to call it white supremacy, I mean, yeah, you're letting this white thing put something all up in you at the end of the day. But he has a point, though. That is true. They do go back and they do get jammed up by a white person. To say you hate white supremacy or white supremacy needs to die, to go back home and get piped down by a white dude is pretty damn crazy. But at the same time, we all know that there were racist slave white people back in the day that was still piping down and having sex with the black slave women. So it kind of is like the story writes itself.
Except maybe this one, I don't know, I'm a little confused as to what's going on over here, but like, look at these people. Each and every one of them is married to a white person. Ilhan Omar was recently quoted as saying that white men are the most dangerous thing in this country, but she still goes home every night and takes a throat full of one.
And that's true. Lately she been on this white supremacy roll like crazy, boy. But I think what this is that these people marriages are similar to the House of Cards. Remember the TV show House of Cards with Kevin Spacey? How they got married. If you look at their marriage was based specifically on political power. They were playing the game, so marriage is a part of the game. So they use marriage as part of the political process to gain more power, to gain more notoriety as far as how people look. Because if you look at Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, bro. Like, Bill always be looking at other chicks when Hillary ain't around. You know what I mean? And she damn well she ain't gonna leave his ass because they have to keep up this facade of how things look. So it's true. But yeah, Ilhan Omar, yeah, she do be hating white people and white supremacy, but she sure did marry a white dude. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going.
Don Lemon just recently said on the news that Christianity is rooted in white supremacy, but he still lets this dude plant meat all the way up in his guts.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. JD, language. Good Lord, bro. That was brutal.
But wait, there's more.
Here we go.
At this point, we're just tired of it, you guys. White people are the least racist people, and yet we're experiencing the most racism these days, and you expect us to just take that up the ass like...
Bruh. I'm sorry, bro, but white people are the least racist people. That's a bullshit statement right there. Like, that's the biggest bullshit statement I've ever heard. Like, come on, son. Like, you know what? I didn't want to have to do it, but I guess I'll do it really quick. You know what? Let me go. You know what? I'll do it next. I ain't even gonna do it right now. I'll do it next. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Jesus. I didn't want to do it, but I have to pull this up real quick. All right. Here we go. He says white people are the least racist white people. Well, let's just take a look at how least racist these white people are. Here we go. All right. Are you ready for it? Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. White people are the least racist people on the earth. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see how un-racist white people are. Let's see what this is about. Here we go.
There's a book that was written by these two white gentlemen called Without Sanctuary. If you ever get a chance to read it, it is one of the most profoundly disturbing books I've ever seen in my life. It's a pictorial history of lynchings and what they used to call nigger barbecues. I'm talking about children, women, male adults lynched. And then they used to put us alive on spits with a fire beneath it and turn us and roast us until we dehydrated. And they'd pick up pieces of the bodies, and hundreds of whites would be standing and taking pictures with a body piece in their hand. They have the pictures, they show the pictures in the book. And they say, just get over that?
Yeah, so I don't think I need to say anything else. We just gonna, JD a cool dude. I enjoy his content, but on that one, yeah, I had to call bullshit on that one, bro. You missed me with that one. Yeah, no, sir. I couldn't let you slide on that one. Not that one, bro. You couldn't slide on that one. No. But let's continue his video because he was making good points. Here we go.
Or Don Lemon or something? Not gonna happen. Only one race, and that's the human race, and then there's a bunch of y'all that are making shit weird. Literally nobody cares what your skin color is as long as you're not being an insufferable cunt. And I'm sure somebody's gonna call me racist for this, and I honestly don't give a shit anymore. But what do y'all think?
Hey, but shout out to JD. I gotta give his credit. He's a good content creator. I enjoy him. Round of applause for that dude. Shout out to him. And he is right. He said there's only one race, which is the human race. Then he backdoored and said there's some of y'all that just making shit weird. which is facts. Yes, and they're not making it weird, bruh. They're just Satanists. That's all they are. They are spawns of Satan. They some devil worshippers. Like, just call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Like, just like the t-shirts you put out. Like, I like your t-shirts. Yeah, those people that you be talking about getting rid of. Yeah, those are Satanists. Those are devil's peoples. So shout out to you. But again, when you see that right there, and you see that those group of people that he was talking about, right? You see those people, and they're like, we hate white supremacy. We hate white supremacy. But yet, yes, like he just said, they all go home and they getting jammed with white meat, meat at their house. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Is this crisis staged, or is this crisis staged, or is it organic? She's got Ilhan Omar getting, allegedly getting busted for fraud. Well, we'll see how that pans out. Will she go to jail? Well, if she don't go to jail and get the money taken from her and get deported, I mean, that's when you know it's all BS. But I think it's BS to begin with. It's just everything's set up a certain way. Everything is set up a certain way to be the way it is. That's just what it is. It's set up this way to be the way it is, to get to an agenda to where they're trying to get to. That's just what it is. There's no way around it. That's how it is. That's what they doing. So if you're on the left side or the right side, that's divide and conquer. Very simple. They get to divide and conquer whoever they want. Let's get some music in the background. They get to divide and conquer whoever they want. That's what they get to do. Oh man, that's the jam too. Let me pull that back a little bit. Pull that back just a little bit. There we go. We're gonna let that start from the beginning because that's the jam. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going, and let's see exactly what we have next. Is this a stage crisis? Because as you saw, Don Lemon was a TV. As a matter of fact, those people that he had up there, he had Kamala Harris, he had Don Lemon, he had Ilhan Omar, he had that ugly woman out of Chicago. I forget what she was. She was something like a police chief or something. Judge or something. She was ugly as shit. And then you had the Prince Harry dude or whatever. Was that Prince Harry? I think it was Prince Harry. But you had like prominent people in these positions. They're prominent people in these positions. And they're doing what they do. Causing confusion, divide and conquer, using the controlled opposition tactic to control the masses. They all probably go out to eat when the cameras are off, but when the cameras are on, it's like WWE. That's why I say don't worry about this shit. It's a big WWE show. But let's go on to the next one. Let's see what we got here. We got.
Why do I have to see this bitch every day?
Oh, whoa. What's going on? Jesus, easy with the language, bro.
This is.
What is going on? How come I can't get this pulled up? Why is this doing this to me right now? Hold on. Let me get this right. Let me get this right.
Why do I have...
Yes, you have to see this chick every day. Let's see what's going on here. So he's complaining why he has to keep seeing this chick every day. This Karen won't just stop appearing. Well, let's see what Karen is doing. Here we go.
I have to see this bitch every day.
Federal officials say the government is doing its job, enforcing the law.
Nice, you wanna fight? Keep sucking daddy's dick on the far right. Fuck ice, we ain't gonna play nice. You wanna fight? Keep sucking.
What is this, Karen core rap? Why do I have to see this bitch every day?
Federal officials say the government is doing its job, enforcing the law.
Nice, you wanna fight? Keep sucking daddy's dick on the far right. Fuck ice, we ain't gonna play nice. You wanna fight? Keep sucking.
What is this, Karen?
So as you can see, they got Karen there on a roll with Karen core rap over there, basically showing that she's fighting and ready to go against ICE. So that's what you see right there is Karen's ready to fight ICE. Yeah, Karen's ready to fight ICE. Now, you got Karen on the side ready to fight ICE. Now, how ironic. How ironic. You got Karen over there ready to fight ICE. Karen's ready to basically go fight her dad and her grandpa and her great-great-grandpa. That's basically what that is. You got Karen over there pissed off, going out there raging. And then at some point, like clockwork, for some reason the black people get involved with the whole white people fighting with ICE thing. I don't understand why black people got involved personally. It should have just been Karens and the Somalians, but Somehow black people got involved with it, and you got black people out there protesting against ICE and stuff like that. But I'm like, dude, it's a show, and I think everybody on both sides is orchestrating a show for the same purpose. It's the same purpose. It doesn't matter what they do, how much they fight, how much they can't stand each other. It's still for the same purpose. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. They know which direction they're headed in. They have an agenda. And it's fun to watch when you look at both sides argue. And I'm gonna keep going through these videos. I'm gonna point to you the direction that we're headed in here in the future. But I just want to keep showing you all these different people fighting and causing confusion and anger and rage and stuff like that. I keep wanting to show you these things. But let's go on to the next one and see what's going on here. We got California. Everybody's leaving California. Let's see why everybody's leaving California. We have Caleb Hammer here. He's out of Austin, Texas. Hey, what's going on, bro? I'm in the same vicinity as you. We're going to figure out why everybody is leaving California, which is going to make a bunch of sense. But we all know that when Californians leave, they take their wages with them, which then wherever they go, they screw up whatever state they land in. And then they outprice the locals in that state, which then drives up the prices of everything else, which then makes it harder for people to live. So Californians and New Yorkers and anybody usually from far east or west coast or up north, when they all migrate south, which south has like a cheaper cost of living, but when they come down here and they bring they democratic liberal mindset, it causes a huge divide economically, politically, and just culture wise. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different culture, how people are. But let's check out why people are fleeing California. Here we go. Caleb's gonna break it down to us.
Fleeing Silicon Valley right now because of the new proposed wealth tax. $1 trillion has left Silicon Valley, by the way, in the last couple weeks. The proposed wealth tax, because it's not just a 5% tax. With the way it is structured, it has to do with how much voting power they have. So someone like Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, who owns 5% of Google, his wealth tax would have him have to sell 50% of his equity position. Not 5%, 50%. It's crazy. There's a founder talking about today on X who would have to sell 100% of his literal position in his own company. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. And it will probably pass by the voters of California because it'll be a ballot proposition. And they've gone literally retarded, and that's okay.
Okay, so as you can see, so they're trying to tax the rich. And when you try to tax the rich are going to do what rich people do, and they're going to move. Why the hell would you stick around and allow yourself to get taxed?
Hey, man.
Hold on. To sit here and say tax the rich, it's the dumbest thing you could ever say, because the rich people are the one that bring jobs into societies. They're the ones that they're the ones that are able to keep things moving and shaking. If you intentionally, once again, I say this is all a American stage crisis, and that's out of California. If you intentionally put that kind of a tax on rich people, right? You intentionally do it, you're going to drive out the rich people. And then you're going to be left with the poor people who can't move and who are stuck financially. Economically, they're stuck. So then you're able to impose your policies on those citizens who can't move and who are stuck there. Is that staged or is that organic? That is a staged, intentional crisis to put on citizens who cannot afford to fight back, who cannot afford to move to a better location. And if they and then if they try to vote, they can use their voices and go vote. They can. I'm not saying don't. They can use their voices and go vote, but who's to say they won't screw them over at the ballot box? And plus, California is a liberal state, so they screwed either way, because they gonna vote for that shit to go in. California is screwed. So is that organic or is that staged? Ask yourself that question. That is a crisis set up intentionally to screw over the citizens. But let's keep going. Let's see what this lady has to say. JD makes it appear on the show again. We got this lady here who's gonna say, "Hey MAGA," but let's see what she has to say.
MAGA, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
Hey there, I'm not MAGA, just somebody who...
Oh, okay. I think she was talking about Charlie Kirk. I think that was a Charlie Kirk reference. So she's basically laughing at the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, which is very unfortunate. Now, we all know how strongly people felt about Charlie Kirk passing away, and that was a huge divide in the country within itself. So again, however you feel on the Charlie Kirk situation, I feel like the Charlie Kirk situation, in my humble opinion, I think Charlie Kirk was that was an intentional assassination. And I would say that the reason why Charlie Kirk was taken out, in my humble opinion, was because he was preaching marriage. You may not agree with everything he said. Hell, I didn't agree with everything he said. Some of the stuff he said, I would call bullshit on. But you know, I mean, you're not gonna agree 100% with nobody. I think one of the reasons why he got taken out was because in the times that we live in, strong feminism, aka Satanism. My phone's ringing. Sorry. Is that we have feminism taking root, and he was, you know, he was a hardcore conservative, a hard conservative, and he promoted family. That's one thing I give him. He promoted family, and he promoted marriage to a point where I don't think I've ever, maybe I could be wrong, I didn't listen to him enough, I've never heard him say the word partner. I've never heard him say partner. Maybe I could be wrong. He always proposed marriage. I never heard him say partner, which is if he didn't, that's fantastic. So I think they took him out because of marriage. He was trying to get families together. A strong family unit is against feminism, is against Satanism. I believe feminism and Satanism are the same thing. It's just disguised as a different word. Satanism is the opposite, is the upside down of God's covenant. God's covenant has an order and a structure. Satanism just turns the shit upside down and goes the opposite. So I think Charlie Kirk, they took him out simply because he was promoting marriage. Who else before Charlie Kirk did they take out who was promoting marriage? And I'm not going to say they took him out, but the way he died is very suspect. It's very, very suspect. Who else before Charlie Kirk died because of promoting marriage? Take a guess. Who was it? My humble opinion, Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was promoting marriage in the black community. Charlie Kirk was promoting marriage in the white community. I mean, I didn't think he cared about color, but I mean, that's who predominantly was on him, or was his audience. We'll just say it like that. But Kevin Samuels, he came out and he brought to forth the mainstream of a topic that was always kept underground, but it got pushed to the forefront. And because of his presentation of it and the fact that women flocked to it and blew him up because it turned into a call-in show and he was actually promoting marriage, I believe, to me, his death is very suspect. I was like, to try to make his death sound like he died getting some coochie and some Latina nurse, I think she was like a nurse or something, on the phone panicking. I was like, that's bullshit. I didn't believe that's how it went down. I thought his death was very suspect. And then later on, Charlie Kirk comes out. He's promoting marriage too. We all saw what happened to him. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at things, in my opinion, I see this all, to me, this is all a American crisis, but it's staged to appear a certain way. It is. It's staged to appear a certain way. But let's keep going with these videos. Let's take a look and let's see how far this goes. Who we got next? We have, where we at? Oh, okay, we have this dude right here. He's going to talk about the New York's aggressive tax collection for people who leave New York City when you dealing with don't mess with the Zohan. So don't mess with the Zohan is potentially putting on some crazy shit on the New York people who leave. But let's hear what he has to say. Let's check this out. Here we go.
There's seemingly no escape from New York. The New York tax man, that is. The Empire State is extremely aggressive in chasing down wealthy people who attempt to escape high taxes with moves to Florida and beyond. And that could escalate as New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani works to increase taxes on top earners. It's funny because many New Yorkers who mull a move believe it's enough to follow the 6 months a day rule, which maintains you're a resident if you spend 184 days or more in New York, not including airport layovers and hospital stays. In reality, though, New York state law requires people to go a lot further to establish their domicile elsewhere, which entails updating their driver's license, voter registration, bank accounts, and mailing subscriptions to their new addresses, no matter where they are. New York is an extremely aggressive state when it comes to state income taxes. They do not like people leaving, and they will do whatever they can to trap you back in New York tax net. So y'all get what you voted for. There's seemingly no
So as you can see right there, that guy basically broke that down pretty nicely. So people I have in New York are potentially about to be facing some serious, unfortunate consequences for trying to leave just the state of New York, which is crazy work. Just crazy, man. So as you can see, is this situation, is it staged? Or is this a stage crisis, or is this organic? Is this a benefit, or is this stage setting up something for a bigger, more sinister situation that's to come? Because I mean, we just had California. They say California on one end was putting a tax 50% on the rich. Now you got New York's aggressive tax collection for people who, even if they do leave, they still will owe tax allegiance to New York if, you know, they still have ties to New York as far as like banks and address and voter registrations and certain documents like that. He's still trying to make it harder for you to not, it's still trying to make it harder for you to get out of the tax situation dealing with New York. So that's the East Coast and that's the West Coast. We're seeing two coasts. Now we know that New York and California are huge economic hubs for America, and to place taxes like that on its own citizens from both sides, but only the rich. Well, not say only the rich. The rich is in California, but anybody who leaves is on New York. But to leave New York, I mean, I think you would have to be rich, because New York is a very expensive fucking place to live. It's very expensive. So you gotta have some kind of finances to be able to get out of New York. So it's trapping people of poverty. It's trapping people that are poor. It's trapping people who are in debt. Is this organic, or is this a staged crisis that they're putting people under? As we can see, you know, because you got a gruesome Newsom in Cali, and then you got Don't Mess with the Zohan in New York. So you got them on both sides. So again, ask yourself these questions as we see all of these things happening. We see this happening constantly, and it's getting worse and worse and worse as we go on. Let's see what we got next. Let's see. Next, we have the Florida governor. All right, I'm pretty sure you heard about this already, but if not, let's check this out. This Florida governor guy. I don't know if this is really going to happen.
We had a couple.
Ma'am, you.
Up. It screwed me up again. I don't know if this is really going to happen, but if it does, boy, oh boy, this is going to be a big deal. Let's pull this up and see what the governor of New York, the potential governor of Florida is trying to do if he can pull this situation off. So check this out.
Guys yesterday that were here were not happy about one of your ideas, and it got pretty heated. I told him, listen guys, at least let him give his ideas here. Don't get too upset about it. The moment you came up with this idea that folks in OnlyFans in the state of Florida have to pay 50% taxes, a lot of Adam's friends were not happy. They were upset. They were furious that you're going to charge these guys 50%. Maybe for the audience that doesn't know this idea about OnlyFans, if you don't mind sharing it with them.
Well, young women in this state used to aspire to be business owners, doctors, nurses, teachers, and even devoted mothers. And now you have a disgusting, disgraceful platform called OnlyFans that encourages them to sell nude images and videos of their body on the internet to complete strangers. I want to be very clear, that is sinful. And so we are going to institute a 50% OnlyFans sin tax here in Florida. We are going to make very clear that if you struggle, if you need help, we're going to support you. But if you decide to reject that support and to continue down this path of degeneracy and allow yourself to be exploited by the OnlyFans platform, you're going to pay a 50% tax on everything that you make from OnlyFans. That is how you disincentivize and deter this degenerate behavior.
We had a couple guys.
Oh boy, that right there. Wait, where's my soundbite? I got to give a soundbite to that one, boy. Oh my goodness, where is it? Here we go.
Prepare
I'm just saying that's gonna be brutal if he can actually pull that off, which I don't know if he can, but if so, I think OnlyFans already taxes 20 or 30%. And then if you're gonna tax another 50% on top of that, sugar daddies are going to reign supreme.
I said, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
If he can pull that off in Florida. I mean, because if you look at it, it's like, to me, that's a double-edged sword. Because one side, you got, okay, you're trying to stop degeneracy. That's the cover. The cover is to stop degeneracy in Florida or whatever. Okay, cool. Now, again, just like the rich people, the rich OnlyFans girls will just move to a different area. That's it. The rich OnlyFans girls will just move to a different area and continue doing OnlyFans. So I don't really see how that's gonna help. But on the cover, you're stopping degeneracy, which all it's gonna do is gonna let sugar daddy is gonna reign supreme, and the price of coochie is gonna plummet because now the sugar daddy's got control of how much the girls are gonna get paid. So that's gonna be. But then again, let's just keep it real. They're just gonna go to a different platform. They're gonna go from OnlyFans to Fansly. Another platform is gonna just reign supreme. That's all they're gonna do. They're gonna go from OnlyFans to Fansly, and then from Fansly, if they do that to another one, they're just gonna bounce platforms. So I mean, it's like you're kind of trying to do something, but if you're only damaging one platform, they got a million other ones they can go to. Okay. Then you have, let's see. That's that. But then if you are to implement that, and then you say if you need help, we will support you. To me, that's kind of like some communist shit right there. I'm just saying, like, bro, that's kind of communist. I mean, to say like, if you need help, we'll support you. And who is we? We sound like the state, the government. And I mean, the government, if you need some help from the government, that's cool. But to force people and hit it with 50% tax and call it a sin tax, like, bruh. Again, is this a organic crisis for the better, or is this a stage crisis to try to pin you into a certain situation to screw you over and force you into a new world order? That's how I look at things. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because it's crazy when he puts it that way. It's like, I mean, it makes sense to a degree if you're trying to stop degeneracy, but if you're only taxing OnlyFans, okay, cool, don't use OnlyFans, go use the other ones. There's quite a few other ones you could do the same thing on. You know what I mean? There's quite a few platforms, all these different cam model websites and all these things you can do the same concept on. It just doesn't have like the OnlyFans layout, but still there's other ones similar to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I think just to attack one platform, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I think Sophie Rain was right. She actually messaged him and talked shit to him and said he had buyer's remorse. I thought that was funny. I was like, that's kind of funny because he is only attacking one platform. So it's like, come on, bro. Like, women ain't that stupid. They are selling coochie. You think they that dumb when it comes to selling a body? That's the number one thing they're proficient in. Like they sell sex all the time, even the ugly ones. They all do it. So it's like, how you gonna charge one platform? It's like, it sounds like a personal vendetta. But you know, you can look at it from a certain perspective on that one, you know. And if that goes through, then I think it'll be the first step for many steps. You know what I mean? If one goes through, then it's like, okay, they might have some steam behind this to kind of keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, which is crazy, but we'll see. All right, so let's see what we got next. What do we have? I don't want to. What is this? Oh, yes. Okay. I don't know how recent this is, but we got a situation in Ireland.
This is what's going on over in Ireland.
Oh, come on. Where is it at? So in Ireland, we have a situation going on.
This is what...
And I'm not 100% sure if this is how recent this is or whatnot, but let's just take a look at this. Here we go. Oh, whoops.
in Ireland. Irish teacher arrested again for refusing to use a they pronoun for student. I know America has problems. I know we have our issues, but y'all gotta get your shit together over there in Europe, man. This is what's going on over in Ireland. Irish teacher arrested again for—
It says Irish teacher arrested again. Okay, I know that's not America, but I did have to put this in there because it says Irish teacher arrested again after refusing to use a they, it, am, them, theirs, their pronoun for a student. Again? He got arrested once for it already and went for nothing. They got him again. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy work. How is it you get arrested again? Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good. All right, let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen. We didn't have that. So let's see what we got next.
Moron.
Let's see. I don't know what this is. What is this? I don't know what this is. Oh, no. That's actually not a good one. Let me see. Question. Oh, this one is pretty bad right here. So check this out. Let's see. This one right here is pretty crazy work. All right, so this one right here shows somebody getting somebody got questioned over a social media post. They said something that was criticizing on social media posts. So either the police or somebody showed up to their house with the post looking for the person. I'm like, yo, that's no bueno for a social media post. Let's check it out. Remember, the demos were canceling people. The Democrats were canceling people left and right for the shit that they said. Now on the other side, you have the Republicans are like, all right, now you can't criticize certain figures. So it's like you're doing the same thing, but it's on both sides of the same bird. But let's check this out. All right, let's take a look at what's going on.
So she's criticizing what his position is on
the Palestinians.
And then what did the mayor do?
Well, the mayor sent the Miami Beach Police Department to bang on her door and confront her, but they were investigating her.
Let's use names. The mayor of Miami Beach, Steve Miner. We don't want to confuse it with Suarez, right?
Correct.
And most people aren't familiar with Florida. Miami Beach is a small city within a city.
Correct.
Which is predominantly, is this the one that's predominantly Jewish?
It's predominantly Jewish.
Yeah, predominantly
So
Jewish.
here's the video if you want to see it, Pat.
Rob, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present, so I really
Rob,
don't know how to answer that question
Okay,
either.
well, like I said, you're not
This
going
is
to jail.
freedom of speech. This is America, right?
And
Veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
Okay. All
We're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I
Okay,
help
so
you?
this is a little
So
out
pretty
of
much it's
control.
just a statement that was
Pause
made
that,
as far
Rob.
as-
So she's criticizing.
Yo, that right there is crazy. She criticized something on social media and he sent the police department to come to her house to basically investigate her. Yo, and hey, she made the right response. So shout out to her for giving her the correct response. But that right there for a social media post for criticizing, I think she criticized Palestine. And yeah, they was like, police, open up. I think you have a cat stuck in your tree. She was like, really? They was like, nah, actually, whose post is this on social media? Look here, bitch. Oh my goodness. So that's actually crazy though. That's actually kind of scary have to be careful what you say on social media. We thought that was a big deal on the demo side, but however, you have to remember something. Our president may be Republican, but all the people underneath, your judges, your Congress, your Senates, your mayors, your governors, them people are still Democrats. So, you know what I mean? Like, but then again, it don't matter what side. My thing is this crisis that we're seeing, because that's a big crisis right there. That crisis is huge. That's a huge crisis to sit here and have your freedom of speech tampered with over a social media post. They're doing that shit over there in Europe. We ain't see that over here yet. 2026 or however that video was, maybe 2025. But the title of it is Miami Police Question Woman Over a Post About the Jewish Mayor. So that right there should tell you all you need to know. Yeah, Straight up. So again, is it staged? Is this a staged crisis? Are they circling the wagons? What's going on here? Because that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Are they circling the wagons here? Is this a staged crisis? Is everything going according to plan, or is this all organic? Let's see what we got here. All right, so next we got what we got? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got the good old people over here of the liberals. The white liberal boomers are now singing. What are these white liberal boomers singing? Let's hear them out.
Liberal boomers are now singing in Minneapolis to free the Somalis.
This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together we will abolish crime.
This is getting bad. White liberal boomers are now singing in Minneapolis to free the Somalis.
This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together we will abolish crime.
This is getting bad.
Oh boy. So there you go. As you can see right there, we have the white liberal boomers, and probably like liberal boomers or liberals in general, but they got their song. They're fighting ICE. They're causing divide and conquer conflict. And my question is, are both of these sides playing for the same dang are they playing for the same team? Whoops. Are they playing for the same team and basically just putting on a stage to, you know, scare everybody? That's my question. Like, that's my whole thing. That's what I see. I'm like, are they both friends on both sides? And then like secretly they get together. And let me point this out. Let me kind of bring you to my point. As a matter of fact, wait, we got 2 more of these videos. Maybe 1. Let's check this one out. So we have this one. There's an individual by the name of Jake Lang who was he was getting his ass handed to him in Minneapolis. And they said that these racist people in Minneapolis were whooping a guy named Jake Lang's ass. Well, Jake Lang ends up getting saved by some black men out there while he was getting his ass whooped. And Jake Lang turns around and has he turns around and basically shows an appreciation message to the black people who saved them. Let's see his token of appreciation. Here we go.
Physically, blacks waking up faster than anybody. I see the web flooded with their videos. I'm in public. Black people run up to me and are totally waking up. I think it's very encouraging that it was almost no black folks at these things, and the few black folks there were protecting you. I mean, let's give them a hand here. I think they've really woken up on average.
Well, I mean, even the guys that said they were protecting me, a couple of those ski masked up Muslims were trying to pickpocket me as they were escorting me home out of that crowd. They're literally trying to steal from me, trip me up and stuff. So, you know, the true intentions of these people, they hate my guts, and I don't think that they
I'm
want
talking
to
about
see
black
a murder
people. Are you denying that we've gotten triple the votes from black people for Trump? There's a black awakening, I think, happening.
Alex, I have 2 words for you. Irina Zaruski. Irina Zaruski. Don't start with me on this type of like wishy-washy, we've got to coddle to these people that are murdering us 41-1. Alex, don't start with me with that, because you will get this internal fire in me that thinks about that video of Irina Zaruski, some dread-headed, absolute animal with 20 prior arrests that was let out because he was black by one of these woke judges to commit another crime and murdered Irina Zaruski.
You know, Jake, I think you're missing where I'm going here. I think
you're not going to catch me virtue signaling.
Oh, I'm not trying to. No. Listen.
I'm not going to virtue signal about my replacement. I'm very clear about my message. A future for Christians and white people in America.
You can get your.
Okay, so basically what that guy said to the black people that saved him, this is what he said if you didn't understand. He said this.
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, you know?
He's like, yeah, man, like y'all saved me and all, but like y'all was trying to pick my pockets, y'all was trying to rob me, and I ain't forget about the dreadhead that stabbed up that white lady in the train. So even though y'all saved me from getting my ass beat half to death or to death potentially, and y'all saved me and stole money out my wallet, I still got to say this to you black folks.
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, you know?
And yeah, thanks for saving my life. Wow. So my question to you is, the American crisis of 2026 and beyond, is it staged or is it organic? I'm like, golly, that was brutal, boy. I saw that, I was like, ooh. Even Alex Jones was like, I think you didn't hear me, bro. Like, I don't think you heard what I said. Bro was like, nah, I heard exactly what you said. And dude just went on. I'm like, sheesh. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that would cause some controversy between two races, I would say. You know what I mean? But bro came out and was like, yeah, this is how I feel about that. So yeah, there's that. So let's go on and move on to what we have here. And here's another thing that's actually interesting to see. When you want to go with the more of divide and conquer, you look at this right here. And it has that, this is that Renee Good lady. And then here are these are the girls who were all American citizens who were killed by illegals. But then this is Renee Good, who was stopping ICE from deporting she was stopping ICE from deporting illegals who kill American citizens. The left mourns her life. Then these were the girls, all American citizens who were killed by illegals, and the left didn't say a thing or mourn any of their lives. I mean, when you look at it like that, it's like, it actually makes sense. I mean, I didn't hear shit said about those girls, and half of them I don't even know who they are, which is sad. But, you know, I do understand what they're saying. And yeah, I know about Renee Good because I just couldn't stop hearing about the situation of what ICE did. But then when those ladies lose their life, and I thought they were pro women, you know, they're supposed to be pro women over there, but that's not exactly the case on how this situation looks. So my question to you, once again, why I made this show, is to ask you the question, is this American crisis? Is it staged or is it organic? Did it just happen to be this way, or do you think like situations have been put in place to keep shit set up so they can get you to keep thinking a certain way? I'm just saying, when you look at everything that's going on, you can't help but notice like, yo, there's some bullshit, but you know, I digress. And you know, also they have going on is in Chicago. There's a protest going on in Chicago where somebody took a little video image of what it looks like in Chicago, and they said, don't let them fool you with the media. This was the size of the protest in Chicago today. So as you can see, here's the protest in Chicago. And if you probably saw images, it probably looked a hell of a lot worse. But, you know, when you got, you see your camera people down here that are in the crowd, you know, recording the stuff and all that, and it makes it look worse than what it is. But in our reality, don't let the media fool you or scare you with tactics, because that's what they've always done. You know, we've always had crisis actors over the years, so many crisis actors over the years, that to the point where even now today that they'll try to tell you that crisis actors are conspiracy theory, which is like come on, bro, like really, y'all still doing conspiracy theory lies? Like, at what point do y'all stop lying? Which they'll never stop lying. Lies is just a part of their repertoire. They have to lie, because if they don't lie, well then shit, what do they have? Truth? Truth is too godly. They can't do the God thing. No. Truth is godly. They like, no, we don't do the God thing. No. Nothing godly. Nothing godly, and nothing J word, because you know they can't say Jesus. You know, they can't do anything J word. You know what I mean? Because it's truth, and it'll put a hole in what we're trying to do, which in all cases it would. You know, because you gotta lie. And that's how they run things. So now we go back to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're going to see that the liberals are flooding the streets of Minneapolis to protest ICE deportations. And they ask a question. And this is the question that they ask whenever you see this video. Let's see.
Miles. This is insane. Unbelievable. For miles. Like, the amount of people that showed up today, unbelievable. This doesn't give it any justice.
right, so as you can see right there, he's saying that these people there's miles of these protesters in Minneapolis. Or is it Minnesota? Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're going to say Minnesota is the state. So they're saying there's miles of these people. And the $1 million question, I'm going to show you right up here, is the $1 million question. It says it right here. Is everyone in that city unemployed? That's the $1 million question right there. And it's true. We've seen that somebody somewhere with really deep ass pockets, and I mean deep pockets, is paying these people to protest. And maybe not somebody, maybe an organization. Hell, maybe Ilhan Omar is using some of her $30 million to pay some of these damn protesters. And maybe they're using the daycare fund to pay these protesters, which why everybody is fighting so damn hard to fight ICE with these protests. Because if they stop these daycares that these Somalis are getting paid on, probably all these damn people that are out here protesting who admitted, some of these people admitted that they're getting paid to protest, they might be losing the check. So that could probably be a good reason why some of these protests are being so huge and elaborate the way they are, because they probably all just protecting the big ass bag that they all scamming the federal government out of. I mean, that's just me talking, but I digress. But my question is this American crisis, is it real or is it a scam? You know what I mean? Is it real or is it not a scam? Is it real or is it staged? Is this a staged crisis or is this a real organic crisis? That's all. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Is this? I mean, because like look at this photo right here. This is the Minnesota physicians on ICE obstructions. They're saying that the ICE agents in Minnesota, they are obstructing care, and just look at these women. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but look at these people. Oh my goodness. I mean, some of these people, they just handed them a white coat and said, put this shit on and stand in the back and just look serious. I don't think all of these people are physicians. I think they just handed some of them white coats and was like, here, put this on. Here. Hold on. Here's your check. All right, cool. All right, there we go. This guy's gonna stand in front with a blue suit. He's probably got on pantyhose down here at the bottom with boxers. And what kind of outfit is this, bruh? What the what the fuck is this? Look at this outfit. Look at this outfit, bruh. What are you wearing? But you should be ashamed of yourself. Look at you. Look, they got her in the front, bro. Put her ass in the back. Give me one of these white coats. Any other white coat. This motherfucker here is just, look at this god awful out. Man, let me get this shit off my screen. Despicable. Oh, Lord. All right. Now, we go back to Minnesota with good old Tampon Tim. And old Tampon Tim is at it again. Let's check out what's going on with old TPT. All right, TPT is in the building, and he get asked $1 million question. Let's see how this fool responds to this shit. And I'm telling you, these people is crazy. But after this video, I'm gonna go over to why I believe that this is a staged crisis in America.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
Well, that.
What do you want me to say? This is.
I want you to say that a woman like me is an adult human female, that men can't become women. You guys are the party of violence, and you're the party erasing women. You don't respect us. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You're a sexist. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Congresswoman.
Good lady.
Mr. Chairman, I will ask unanimous consent.
All right, so as you can see there, some more divide and conquer. TPT can't answer a simple question, as they always got. And it's just a constant dividing situation that they have going on. And it's on all levels. It's race, it's gender, it's religion, It's politics. It's all of these things combined into one, and they just keep flooding you with negativity, hate, and all this stuff. And it gets to a point where you have to be like, where is all this shit coming from? And I'll show you. So here is the thing. I've actually went over this before. And this is, and this goes across plenty of documents. You know what I mean? There's plenty of documents you can find this, and not just this topic, but in different avenues. So for example, let me show you what this is. Let me pull this up for you right here. So this right here is going to be your Luciferian blood pact. Here's your Luciferian blood pact. The secret covenant, a Luciferian blood pact right here, or blood oath, whatever you want to call it. And when you go through it, I went over this and I'm just going to skim through it real quick, because this is going to explain why I believe that this American crisis is staged, because I believe that everybody who is in on this shit is a part of a Luciferian blood oath. They're part of a blood pact, you know, and if you get out of this shit, they gonna whack you. But here it is right here. So here it is right here. It says the blood oath, the covenant is presented by a sworn pact, binding oath made in blood by a small elite group of brotherhood people. And this oath commits to its members to maintain secrecy, serve their own interests at the expense of the masses, use deception, manipulation, and inversion of truth to gain and maintain control, and subvert divine order, natural law, and human potential. So when you are an elite group of small people, number one, that means you have a lot of fucking money. Like, you balling out of control. You got a lot of bread. You can make people do anything you want because you got so much money. And here's the reason why I say the American crisis is staged. Because it says right here in the Luciferian blood oath, it says, we will establish their governments and create opposites within, and we will own both sides. Tactics, controlled opposition, false dichotomies, left, right, race, gender, wars, etc. And then divide and rule, meaning polarization ensures paralysis. If people are divided, they are easier to dominate and cannot unite against their true enslavers. So with that being said, if you own both sides, if you own both sides of a conflict, that means that you're lining up the pockets of people on both sides. Clearly, you're making sure that both sides are getting paid. You're making sure that both sides are getting paid. They have to get paid. They have to make money for sure. And if both sides are getting paid, then both sides know that they're both doing something in secret to push forth a certain agenda. So both sides know that they probably doing some Luciferian shit. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you are gay or heterosexual, whether you are black or white, whether you are, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're an Islam or a Christian or a Judaism or a Hindu. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It makes it very clear on how they do this. And if you look at everything, it all makes sense. It all will make sense. I'll show you some more real quick. So where is it right here? Let's see. Where is it real quick? Because when you look at it, all of this stuff, it simply makes it simply makes sense when you look at how all of this works. Because if you think about it, it's like we're heading into a certain direction, but it's all staged, it's all orchestrated. How many people are doing this are Satanists, and how many people are children of the Most High, or just simply atheists and don't believe in anything, stand for nothing, fall for anything type shit, or just, guilty by, so whatever the case may be. So right here we have the secret covenant outlines a vast network of psychological, economic, chemical, medical, educational, and spiritual control over humanity. Key mechanisms include, and I'm going to go right down to this one: mind control via media, entertainment, and education, social division, and engineered conflict, race, religion, politics. When you look at that, that's a Luciferian blood oath. It's clear that that's what they're doing. So everything that you look at, all this confusion, madness, all this shit that don't make sense, it do make sense. Don't make it more difficult than what it is. These motherfuckers is some devils. They know what they doing. I don't give a damn what side you on. It's the same thing on both sides. Both sides is getting paid, and they're leading everybody in to a agenda that they want to fulfill. It is what it is. Don't take it personal. That's just they just know what side that they play on. So they're doing what they supposed to do. You can't get mad at it. They know what side they on. If they know what side they on, then hell, good for them. And they sticking to their script. They following that bag, they chasing that bag, they doing what they gotta do for what it is that they believe in. It's just up to you to not fall for the bullshit. And it's something that they don't want you to know about within yourself, that they know. And it's actually written in this oath, and it's written in a bunch of other documents that are either control-minded or evil or satanic, whatever you want to call it. All these documents have some form of this in it, and I'll show you what it is right here. All of these documents have this in it in some shape or form. Spiritual suppression, disconnecting people from source and inner divinity. It's always there. These systems are designed to weaken the body, dull the mind, and corrupt the spirit, making humanity easier to manipulate. Spiritual suppression, disconnecting people from source and inner divinity. What the hell do they know about you having inner divinity? Now, Luciferian, satanic, whatever, that's a type of spiritual. That's a type of spirituality, whether you want to believe it or not. And whatever their spirituality is, they know that they got to stop you from something that's within yourself that is very strong and powerful that they don't want you to know about. And it's in all documents. You can read any document. Project Bluebeam, Solid Weapon for Quiet Wars, learn the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, and the list goes on. The Bible even tells you. They try to trick you with the Bible. They try to tell you to look everywhere all around for Jesus and God, and the Bible within itself tells you that the kingdom of heaven is within you. The Bible will tell you that people will say, look here, look there, but just know that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Everything you're trying to find is in you. They give you a description of what Jesus looked like, a white dude with dead hair and a dashiki, but then in the Bible and the Revelations, they give you a physical description of Jesus, and it's nothing like that. It's everything is in you, and they know it, but you don't. And if they can keep you looking away, if they can keep you thinking negative, stress, fear, doubt, poverty, all these things are low frequency states. Degeneracy, fucking and fornicating all the time. If they can keep you in these low degenerate states, they got you. And they don't want you to get out of that. It's a stage show. Both sides know this. They use material and wealth to distract you, to make you feel like you want that. Because if you keep looking at material and wealth, that's outside of you. You don't take no time to sit down in a quiet place and meditate and pray. You don't take no time to fast. You don't think. And they know if they can keep you in that same state of mind, they got control over you. And they're right. They're not wrong. Let me roll it up to the last part of the video, because I do have one thing I got to go over. I got to leave right now, but we're going to finish this up because I do got to go over this. Recently, there was a podcast done by PBD and Andrew Tate was on it. And this dude dropped some serious bombs on it. And I gotta go over it. Andrew Tate went over some stuff that PBD had asked him, and he basically said, like, look, if I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go to jail for saying this. And he went and he just laid the shit out. He laid it out, and it's the same way I've been feeling. But you know, he's really good at speaking. He's a really good public speaker. Whether you love him or hate him, like him or not, he's very, very strong and has a very strong voice, and he's a very great public speaker, which is one of the most powerful things known to man. That goes back to the Bible. Every prominent man in the Bible was a very good speaker. Public speaking is one of the most, powerful things that one man can have. A strong voice. That's why the word is so powerful in the Bible. But Anyway, let me go ahead and pull this video up so we can watch this and dissect this as to what it is that Andrew Tate was talking about, as to what it is that will get him arrested if he admits this. So I'm gonna use Chisha Zed's video because he actually edited this in a good way, and I'm gonna skip over him talking and just keep it on Andrew Tate. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get to this right here.
Tate shares. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Here's why the world's Here's actually why the world's and this is why my first original war was against this thing. We can talk about godlessness. We can talk about capitalism. We can talk about all these things. I'll tell you what the world. Feminism. Yep. And let me explain why. Let me explain why. Because, you know, I sit on podcasts and girls say to me, you say men should cheat, men can't cheat, men need to be loyal, all this crap, blah, blah, blah. There was a time when there was a very simple social contract, and it wasn't too long ago. In the 1950s or the 1960s, you married your high school sweetheart, you had children. The man could pay for the house. His job was to go to the factory and pay for the house. She had a job, which was to birth children and take care of the children. It was bad, not only for her to cheat, but he would be ostracized. Even he, as a man, would be looked down on by society for stepping out of his marriage.
Right.
That's how society worked. Did men break that contract or did women break that contract? Because it was feminism and women saying, I don't want to listen to my husband. I want to make my own decisions. I don't want to have children young. I want a Birkin bag and I want to go on Andrew Tate's Obsidian Blade yacht. So I don't want kids. So let's get rid of this and let me make my own choices. By doing that, we have now built a society where most women are chasing 1% of men and sharing him. And most of those men are so scared of the government, they don't want to give most of these women kids. So we have most women wasting their sexuality as playthings, running around the world for rich men being used as toys. Nobody is focused on family anymore. And men in the middle, the average man, can't even get anywhere near a girl. Right. And that has created all of the societal problems that we've discussed since. It is feminism that has destroyed the West, actually. If people were still focused on family, and I would argue that if you were to get 25-year-old men and 25-year-old women in here and say, do you want kids? The men would all go, yes, I'd love a son. It's the women who go, yeah, maybe when I'm older, not now. Da-da-da. Women don't want to have kids.
This is so true. And you guys have seen it even.
Straight up. Now, he made a very good point where he basically said that what's happening here is that, is that family unit is being destroyed, which exactly what I was saying earlier. Feminism is Satanism. And yes, the family unit is being destroyed. It's being attacked. Is this situation with America, is it staged? Is this crisis staged? Or is it organic? That's the $1 million question. And what he's saying, I can tie it back to the Luciferian blood pact. I can even tie it to, where's this document right here? I can tie it to this, Solid Weapons for Quiet Wars, right here. This is a piece of this document called Quiet Weapons for Silent Wars. A piece of the preface of this document says, right here, it says that this plan is hatched in the embryonic days of the Cold War, which called for control of the masses through manipulation of industry, people's pastimes, education, and political leanings. It called for a quiet revolution, putting brother against brother and diverting the public's attention from what is really going on. That's literally what we're dealing with right now. Everybody's getting distracted by what's really going on. And the family unit is being destroyed. The world is a stage. And yes, you can get killed in this stage that they put together, but the crisis that they're manipulating is a stage crisis. Families being destroyed. Political parties are being put against each other left and right, but they control both sides of the party. Just like he said, the women don't want to have kids, the men want to have kids, but the men are afraid to give women kids because of the family court system. The women want to put off kids to later years so they get older, but then who the hell, you know, it's like it causes this conflict between the two. And then when a woman does wait to have babies when she gets older, she only wants to have 1 or 2. And the men probably want 5 or 6, but the economics of everything makes everything hard. And it just it's a staged crisis. And it's almost like if you dig into the USSR and you look at how the situation stemmed from the Bolsheviks revolution leading into the USSR, you're going to see damn near the same playbook, just not with so much technology. It's the same playbook. And of course, we're going to go into this crisis. Why? Because you can never let a good crisis go to waste. There's too much money involved. But let him keep going because I got to finish this up. Here we go. Whoop. Let me fix that.
Which they saw on TikTok.
Yep.
It is
Right.
feminism which has destroyed everything. And women have actually shot themselves in the foot with this, because women say to me all the time, yeah, you know, you're advocating for men to have kids or have multiple women and all this, blah, 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 blah. If you believe a broke man doesn't deserve, then you believe a rich man deserves all he wants. You made that choice. You said broke men don't deserve me.
Come on
So
now.
you said only rich men deserve me.
Come
and
on
guess
now.
what? There's less rich men than there are females. Welcome to the earth you have built, feminists.
Right,
Welcome
right.
to the earth you have built, women. If you're
Right.
going to sit there and have such unrealistic financial expectations from the man you date, you're going to share him, because everyone has those expectations.
Now, the rich men that he's talking about, you got a few rich men and a shitload of high sexy ass bad bitches walking around left and right using the miracles of modern science to get their titties, their booties done, lip injections, Botox and fillers. Ask yourself this question. When you look at the few rich men that get to play with all these women, are these women, I mean, are these rich men, are they of high moral compass or are they immoral? Ask yourself that $1 million question. Feminism is Satanism. Ask yourself that question. The rich men that get to play with all these women that these women only want to deal with, the rich men, are these rich men, are they of high moral compass or are they immoral? Not going to say all of them, but let's just call a spade a spade. Would you say the majority of them are godly or ungodly? So then, therefore, this American crisis is staged. It worked out perfectly. Feminism is Satanism. And then when you look at probably the high percentages of men who have all the money in the world, clearly they are not of high moral character. They're probably ungodly, which then, therefore, you fall right into the plan of all the women are chasing ungodly men. The Luciferian pact worked out perfectly. The satanic situation is working out super well for everybody that is trapped in the world. The Matrix, if that's what you want to call it. But let's let them keep going. I got to finish this up. Here we go.
This is the world that feminism built. Feminism destroyed the West. And every single problem, socialism, the capitalistic issues, the home issues, the birth rate, the crime, all this crap comes from feminism. That's why my war originally was on feminism. Now let's talk about the next stage. Why did that get me in so much trouble?
Before we go on to him,
now that's a good question. He's going to say, why did that get him into so much trouble? And I'm going to basically tie him in, because what he's about to say, he's going to make a very good point. And what got him into so much trouble is going to be the same reason, in my opinion, why Charlie Kirk and Kevin Samuels got in so much trouble. But let's continue. Here we go.
Because as much as I love women, and I'm not a misogynist, and I take care of every woman in my life, and I love my mother, and I have daughters, and I take care of all the women who have my kids, and they have security teams and Bentleys and mansions, and I'm a provider for absolutely everybody. I'm a very nice man. I like women. Unfortunately, women are a conduit. They are used by other groups of powerful men to destroy the society we live in. Do you know what? Let me tell you something. I have this theory. It's the high-low theory. I think we've all heard it before. Who didn't get the vaccine? Billionaires knew better, and homeless people knew better. You get in the middle. Who doesn't pay taxes? Billionaires don't pay taxes. Homeless people don't pay taxes. You get in the middle. If you're really...
Now, doesn't that make sense? In American stage crisis, who gets screwed? Who gets screwed? People in poverty. Now, the homeless people gonna catch strays too at some point, but right now they got some leeway. But in the future, they gonna catch strays. But let's keep going.
Rich. It's true. It's true, right? If you're at the extremes, you understand things that the people in the middle don't. And I never grew up. I'm not a hedge fund. My dad wasn't rich. I didn't have a silver spoon. Unfortunately, I grew up at the absolute bottom. And I got a version of the world as this mafia gangland, everybody out to get each other. And then I got to the top and I was like, oh shit, it's exactly the same. And you know what you do at the bottom if you're trying to get a guy? You watch his girl's Instagram story because she can't help but post the restaurant. She has to show off. That's where he is. Do you know what you do at the bottom if you want to get a guy? You kidnap his girlfriend. You follow her. The guy, he's smart. He's hard to follow. His head's on a swivel. But his chick, she's wandering around. She's on her phone, doing her lipstick.
Oh my
That's
God.
how you find him. When the police want to find a criminal and he's hiding, they call all his chicks. This is standard operating procedure.
Right.
It's the same at the top. How did they get me? How will they get any of you in here? They use women as a conduit to
Right.
damage people.
Right.
Women are not evil. I'm not insulting women. I'm saying that the men at the top are using women as a weapon against other men. They're doing it on purpose. And they're doing it by even destroying the fabric of society. Benefits to socialists. This benefits them. That's why they're making women undateable. That's why they're pushing feminism. That's why they're destroying family. That's why they're completely they're growing the gap between men and women in society, because they know that families are actually their enemy. Read a socialist playbook. Read Democrats. All they are is anti-family. That is their number one primary weapon. So how do you do that? You convince women that having kids is wrong, or having kids is somehow slavery or servitude in some way that's embarrassing to do. You make motherhood, instead of being the highest virtue of a woman like it should be, you do the absolute opposite. This feminism thing, this whole feminism crap, the saddest thing about it is it's not even driven by women. It's driven by evil men behind the feminism who are using it to attack other men. Just like at the bottom, you use women to attack other men. It's exactly the same at the top. And it is feminism that has destroyed the West. And when you go against feminism, like I did, you get in a lot of trouble. If I told you go against the vaccine, you go against big pharma, you catch a case, you'd believe me. If I say you go against big women, you catch a case, you'd be like, what? You do. You actually do. Because the people who are behind...
I had to take a moment there and think.
Okay, now hearing what he just said, hearing exactly what he just said, is he not describing what I just showed you? Let me show you this right here. This is exactly what he is describing. Indirectly, but he's describing this right here. Right here, the Luciferian blood oath. We will establish their governments and create opposites within. We will own both sides. False dichotomies, race, gender, left, right, wars. He's describing this right here. Controlled opposition. He's literally describing a patch out of the Luciferian blood oath. This is what he's describing. He's not reading this from he ain't reading this. He's speaking from the top of his head. And this is what he's describing. Divide and rule, false dichotomies, controlled opposition. This is what he's describing. We will own both sides. He said at the top, the very rich people are owned. Man and woman, they own both sides. How do you get to the man? You use the woman. He's describing this. This is what this is. This is what this is. He's describing it. Feminism to a T. Feminism is Satanism, regardless of how you want to look at it. They're controlling both sides. The American, and honestly, it's a global thing, but I just call this show the American Stage Crisis. But this is a global thing. But you know, this is the American Stage Crisis. Let him finish up, because I am short on time. But let's let him finish up the last little bit. Let's see. Is he talking? Taxes. Ah, damn it. But yeah, exactly. As you can see, he's basically describing the Luciferian blood pact. He's basically describing solid weapon for quiet wars. He's basically describing he's describing all of these documents that, you know, whether it's a communist manifesto or anything that has to do with socialism, they're all rooted in Satanism. Because family unit is what you don't want. That's why Charlie Kirk was taken out. That's why Kevin Samuels was taken out. They were both promoting marriage. They wanted marriage. Marriage, what is marriage? Marriage is a very high covenant between a man and a woman that go towards God. They even changed the term marriage, and they're calling this shit a partnership. Let me just type this, because people need to see what this is. Partnership. Let's see. Here we go. Right here, people. Because nobody seems to know what a fucking partnership is, and you idiots need to learn this shit. Partnership. A partnership is a formal arrangement where two or more parties agree to cooperate to advance their mutual interest, often involving shared ownership and management of a business, contributed money, property, labor, or skill in sharing in profits and losses. That's a partnership. When you're looking for your partner, this is who you're looking for. All right. Now let's see what this is. Okay. You're looking for a partner. Now let's see what happens when you look for this. Here we go. We're going to change the word now. Here we go. You ready? Word change. Spouse. A spouse is typically defined as a partner in a marriage, referring to either a husband or wife who is legally wed to another individual. While historically used as a verb meaning to marry, it now functions as a noun describing someone in a legally recognized marriage. See how they still try to define it as a partner in marriage? That's not what it is. So then we dive deeper. Here we go. Spouse is a significant other in a marriage. A female spouse is called a wife. A male spouse is called a husband. Right here, you have it in here. They still try to shove the word partnership into marriage or spouse because they want to destroy the family unit. They want to keep you away from the power of a family unit. So they try to put partner or partnership in it, but it's not. It's not a partnership. A partnership is a business. But let's let him continue with this. Here we go. Finish this up because I got to go.
When your wife prepares you a meal and your kids obey you and they love you and they're not psyoped by YouTube and the school system, and when you talk, they respect you as the man, and you all sit around the table and you're the head of the table, and someone comes into your town near your house, your family, you're the king in that household, you're going to defend it. But when you come home and your wife's nagging and you don't, and your kids don't listen because they're busy watching YouTube and they've gone to school and learned some crap you don't even like, and every time you have any concerns or raise your voice, your wife's just in your ear nagging at you, pecking away at you, blah, 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 blah. She deserves more. I saw on TikTok this girl had a Lambo. Why don't I have these things? Blah, blah, blah. Are you now preparing, ready? Do you feel ready for war as a man? You've given up, bro.
Right.
You're like, fuck it. Take society. Take the road. Take the street. Take the town. Take the fucking country. Whatever. Leave me alone. Do you know what pushed COVID? Feminism. Feminism. This is why I'm going to jail. Feminism pushed COVID. A man came home. There's COVID and it's really dangerous. Don't care. Oh, yeah, but grandma and the kids, and you should just put a mask on. The wife, the women, oh, I'm scared. Because women, as much as I love women, I'm not a misogynist. My judge in Romania is a woman. How convenient. Woo! No, as much as I love women, their superpower is emotionality, which means you can beat them with emotional arguments. Yeah. Let's analyze COVID. How did they get you COVID? Grandma. Now, when they said grandma to me, I said, grandma's 93, and 93-year-olds die. So it's unfortunate, but grandma's old, and I'm young, and I have things to do. It's very unfortunate. This is the circle of life. Mm-hmm. Women don't think that way. But grandma. Take the vaccine. Lock us in our house for years. Put a mask on. Take it off when you eat. Put it on when you fucking piss. With grandma. Emotional arguments. They do this with everything. Immigration. You sit and say, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. Perhaps that's the number one thing that defines a country is its border. But look at this kid. This kid at the border. A kid. Emotionality. So if you empower women to the point where they're more powerful than men, you now get to psyop the entire population with emotional arguments.
Oof, that's such a good point.
He is dropping bars like crazy right now. He's 100% right.
As much as we complain about the patriarchy, women have more rights than you. They have more protections than you. There's not a single thing you can do that they can't do, and they can do a whole bunch of things you can't. A woman, take it from me, can lie to the police about you 10 years ago with no evidence and take all your money and put you in a cell. Women run this show. They run it. And it is done purposely by the evil men who want women in charge, so men are scared of them. So when the women believe the emotional argument on the TV, they then henpeck their man into believing it. And before you know it, we're all locked in our house wearing masks for 3 years because of grandma. It is feminism that has destroyed the West.
And once again, is he not describing this? Is he not describing this? If people are divided, they are easier to dominate and cannot unite against their true enslavers. The Luciferian blood oath. He's describing this to a T. He ain't even talking about it. He's describing this right here. We'll distract them with amusement. We shall use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives. Keep going. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak. Trauma-based stress cycles. That's what he just described. Grandma, trauma-based stress cycles. All these things, pharmaceutical dependence, EMF bombardment, all these things he's describing, but he's not saying these things at all. He's not saying that, he's not mentioning it, but what he's describing is a Luciferian blood pact. And what I'm saying is this whole American crisis is staged. It's staged. And he don't even live in America. Bro live in Romania right now. He lives in Romania. But let him finish up his last little bit. But just to show you that this whole thing is a staged crisis. It's intentional. It's direct. Let's let him finish.
It is big women that has destroyed the West. And me talking about exactly that is why I had to go sit in a fucking cell. That's the problem.
Let me tell you, when you said big woman, you had me. That was like...
he meant big pharma, big women, big
Right. That took me a minute.
But going
Please
back,
write to me, guys.
Yeah.
No, I don't think...
Hang on. Two things. I think the more I sit there and I think about if all of these guys who wanted to do this and were behind it.
All right, I'm gonna have to wrap it up right there because he made very valid point. Well, maybe I could fast forward to where he talks one last time because I think he has one more thing that he has said that made huge sense, which I'm not saying he doesn't.
Do you
make
want to take a
sense.
second to touch on?
Up. Actually, I can let him finish up this last little bit, but basically, as you can see, he's basically speaking on the exact same thing that I'm showing you. It's the same concept. It's the same concept, regardless of how you look at it, and regardless of how you dice it up. It's the same. I don't give a damn if you're Democrat, Republican. I don't care if you're Islam, Judah, Hindu, or Christian. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't care if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you break it all down, when you just break it down to its finest, simple left and right or up and down. When you go polar opposites, you're gonna land at this is what they're pushing. They're pushing a Luciferian blood oath right here. This is what it is right here. This is what they're pushing. This is it. This is what they're pushing. It's made by a group of elite to enslave, deceive, and dominate humanity. They say the origins are murky. Of course they're going to say it's murky. The so-called dark controllers, global Kabbalists, and Luciferian secret societies. It is what it is. And it says at its root, this covenant is presented as a sworn pact, binding oath, made in blood, small group of elite brotherhood, and it commits to maintain secrecy, serve their own interests at the expense of the masses, use deception, manipulation, and inversion of truth to gain and maintain control and subvert divine order, natural law, and human potential. But remember, what do they not want? Let me show you. What do they not want? Oh, where is it? Oh, crap. Where is that at right there? What they don't want for you to do is they don't want you to figure out what. Where is it at? Where is it at? I just had it right here. They don't want you to, where's the damn thing at? Let's see, fasting. What you do is they don't want you to, dang it, I can't find it. Let me go ahead and let him keep talking so I can find this for you real quick. But I'm going to show you what they don't want you to do. But let's let him keep talking. Here we go.
More than likely, I'm not saying it's the right thing, but I have some form of evidence to back my theory up, right? I want to convince you with facts and logic, so I need to find evidence. If I want to convince you with an emotional argument like grandma or like the kid at the border, I don't need facts or evidence. In fact, we can ignore facts and evidence. So the logical conclusion to that is that emotional arguments are likely being used to push bad ideas because they have no evidence and no factual basis. And the other side, the logical, rational arguments have some degree of factual basis, so those are likely the good ones. So the emotional arguments are the bad ones, and the logical arguments are the good ones, meaning that the emotional arguments that we're pushing towards feminists who now run their households and all these empowered women are the negative ones. And the ones that men believe, which are based on reasoning and facts and logic, are the good ones. So we're going to do a thought experiment. Let's talk about the emotional arguments, and let's talk about the things that are currently destroying America. And I'm going to ask you a simple yes or no answer, or the simple one of two options. Who supports these ideas more? By and large, generally, women or men. Who supports more, women or men?
Women.
Who supports open borders?
By the way, that first one was deletion of children, right?
Everything that's destroying it. Who is the biggest advocate for these things?
White liberal women.
Women are destroying everything. put me in jail. No. Women are destroying everything.
But by the way,
It started with the apple.
No,
now, I'm not saying all women. I'm not being.
And specifically white liberal women. Whoever said that is correct.
I'm talking in general. I'm not saying women are bad. I'm saying that they've been psyoped by evil men. I'm actually blaming men here. I'm not blaming women. I'm saying that women are the conduit. Women are being used to do the work of the devil via emotional arguments and destroy Western society. Who is pro drag queen story hour by and large?
The young moms.
Women.
That are, yeah, of course.
Who is, you name,
You must preface it with liberal women.
You name anything negative about Western society that is currently destroying the place and ask who is the largest advocate for this thing, men or women?
It's
women.
It's white liberal women.
Every single time. And when you point that out, like I just have, you get in a lot of trouble.
With
now when a female DA indicts me, there we are.
Well, he said DeSantis and his group.
And with that being said, let me show you what I was trying to find. I found it. Sorry it took me so long, but this is basically it right here. This is what they don't want you to find out. At the end of the day, they're going to block everything away from you. But what they're trying to subvert you from is this right here. The control system of the secret covenant outlines a vast network of psychological, economic, chemical, medical, and spiritual control over humanity. There it is right there. One of the main things is this right here. Spiritual suppression, disconnect people from source and inner divinity. They don't want that from you. They don't want you with control with inner divinity. Okay? Their end game is to enthrone of the one who will rule over all, sometimes interpreted as the Antichrist. That right there. Now, if you want to flip it, you can flip it because they try to tell you how to flip it. But this is what they try to do to get you. This is how they will distract you. Seduction of the senses to disconnect from higher awareness. What is higher awareness? What is the inner divinity? Clearly, they know something that we don't, or you don't. They know it, and they don't want you to find it. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is this American crisis, is it staged? It has to be, because you can't sit here and look at everything and break everything down to a science and then come to a Luciferian or satanic blood oath or blood pact and realize that what this says or what this is doing falls in line with the complete degeneracy and fall of what we're witnessing in today's time. And what are you supposed to do? Well, what is it that they don't want you to do? They don't want you to find your inner divinity. There's a sovereign, there's something within you. There's a higher oneness within yourself that they know about, that they don't want you to know that you have, and they're trying to distract you from it, which is up to you to find. With that being said, Joe, I got to get up out of here. As we can see, man, hopefully you learned something today and I was able to present to you a good show, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I got to get up out of here. Yes. But I will catch y'all later. We'll be back on here for the next show. I'll be posting shorts over the weekend. But until then, I got to get up out of here. Catch y'all later. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.